So how did we start first is about the accounting. Now, before we go for an accounting, suppose if you have a stationery shop, okay, and why I'm taking stationery shop because so that you can understand the example very nicely. Um, can you see the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now in stationery shop, what you do is, suppose this is the book. What you do, you keep one book like this. So we'll start with May 1st. Now May 1st, you are given an accounting position and you are asked to maintain all the details of the stationery shop. Okay. So what you do is like you'll purchase a normal book like this. Okay. And on May 1st, whatever the transactions are there. Now you'll open the book like this. Now, this is an empty book. Now, here you'll write May 1st and you write whatever the transactions are there here. Okay. So, transactions means what will happen in a stationery account. For example, if you are purchasing if you as a stationery shop owner, suppose if you are purchasing books, you write here purchased books. If you are purchasing stationery, you write stationery. And at the same time, customers also will come to your shop and they'll purchase some pens or stationery. Again, you'll write here sale stationery and everything. If you have given any Xerox, you'll write Xerox. So on May 1st, you'll keep one entire page for May 1st. And what you will do is you'll write all the transactions here. Now, next page, that is your May 2nd. Okay. Now, May 2nd, what you do is you'll write all the transactions, whatever you are purchased for stationery shop and whatever you have sold from the stationery shop. And next one is, this is the book, May 3rd. May 3rd, again, the same transactions. So this way of doing accountancy is called as bookkeeping. Now, what is a bookkeeping? You kept one book for a stationery shop and each page you have given one date, and on each date you are writing whatever you have purchased and whatever you have sold. So this process, that is maintaining one book, writing all the transactions, whatever is there, whatever you are writing here is called as bookkeeping. So did you understand the concept? Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so this is called as bookkeeping. Now you see the slide mark. Bookkeeping is the process of systematically recording. Now what you are doing bookkeeping in this bookkeeping, you are writing all the transactions in it. Okay. Now here you are writing all the transactions in a systematic way, systematically recording, classifying. Classifying means suppose if you purchase stationery, you write up. If you purchased books, you write middle. If you purchase anything, erasers, or if you purchase any Xerox kind of things, A4 size bundles, you write here. So in this one particular page, now the first half is stationery, second half is books, and third half for magazines, for example. So you are recording systematically and classified this page so that each part will resemble one particular item. Okay. And reporting financial transactions of a business. Now, first one is, now what you are recording in this book, you are recording all the transactions. Now, when we call it as a transaction, suppose if money is involved in that, then we call it as a transaction. If money is not involved in that, you will not book an entry. Okay. Now, for example, you are there in a stationery shop. Okay. Suddenly you came to notice that A4 size bundles have finished. So what you do? Immediately call the vendor. You will tell them, give me A4 size bundles. So you brought A4 size bundles. So it cost is around 1,000. Will you record this in the book or not?
Yes, ma'am. We will
You will
record it.
record it. Why? Because A4 size bundles cost you much. Okay. And immediately once you purchased A4 size bundle, two persons came for Xerox. You gave them a Xerox and they paid you 20 rupees. Will you record this in the book?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Why? Because 20 rupees cash is there involved in that. Okay. And immediately for your stationery shop, you find a beggar coming to your stationery shop and you felt very sad, but unfortunately you cannot donate anything. but you really felt very sad. Can you record this in the book?
No, ma'am.
Can you record it? No,
No,
because
ma'am.
it
We can't
does not
record it.
record with money. Okay. And suddenly one friend came to your shop, one of your friend, you felt very happy. For 5 minutes, you had a little bit of discussions. Finally, at the end of the discussions, you really felt very happy. Can you record this in the book?
It will be, like, yes, no, ma'am.
Will you record this in the book? You felt very happy?
No, ma'am. We will do it.
Not recorded. But the same time, suppose if your friend came, you felt very happy and you both have wanted to have a tea together. So you gave 20 rupees for tea. Will you record that one here?
No, ma'am.
You have to record because you are paying 20 rupees money there for tea. Okay. Are you following it?
Yes, ma'am. I'm following.
Okay. And next one, suppose I said that if beggar comes to your shop, you felt very sad. Now for that sadness, there is no entry here. But suppose if you donate 10 rupees to that beggar, will you record this in the book?
Mm,
Will
no,
you,
ma'am. We will not that shop.
will you record that 10 rupees in the book?
No, ma'am.
No, you have to record that because that 10 rupees you have took from stationery shop and you paid them. Okay. So this what does this mean? If you felt sad, if you felt happy for emotional things, you'll not record anything. But because of that happiness, because of that sadness, if you are paying anything in amount, okay, so because money is involved, we have to write it in the books of accounts. Did you get the point?
Yes, ma'am. I got it.
So what does it mean? So then it will become financial transaction. What do you mean by financial transaction means if when you are running a business or when you are running a company, in that money is involved, then all the items which are related to money should be recorded in this book completely. Okay. It involves accurate timely recording of financial data. Immediately it happens, you have to record. Now, have you gone to any medical shop?
Only one time.
Medical shop?
Only one time.
Okay. Now, suppose when you go to medical shop, now if you purchase a medicine, what they'll do is immediately they'll open one small book and write that medicine name.
Mm.
Have you noticed that? If you
Yes, ma'am.
purchase any tablets, immediately they'll open one small book and they'll write tablets name and their amount. So what that they maintain, that is called as bookkeeping. Means immediately one transaction has happened, immediately they'll record in the book. Okay. Timely recording of financial data such as income, expense, assets, liabilities, and equity. Bookkeeping provides the foundation for accounting and financial reporting. Now, why do you think they'll maintain all those things? Because they'll record all the financial information in the book. And have you seen any Marwadi shop?
Ma'am?
Did you see any gold shop or Marwadi, small Marwadi shop
I have
lending? Okay, so if you go there, what they do is they'll not maintain any system there. In any Marwadi shop, you don't find any system. They'll find only books there. Okay,
mm,
immediately you purchase any gold item or what they do is they'll open one small piece of book and they'll write all the transactions there. Okay, so what does this mean? That immediately one transaction has happened, they'll start open one book and start writing it. That is called as bookkeeping. Okay, so example, medical shop is there, small jewelry shops are there, and if you have visited any grocery stores also, you find whichever items they are selling, they'll open one small book and write all the items sold there. So that you know, first one, how much amount they have done still, that information will get, and which items are shortage also, they'll get an idea, and next day they'll replace with all the short items. Okay, so that is called as informal way of keeping accounts. So from there, actually the bookkeeping concept has started. Okay, so first one is, what do you mean? Before you go into accounts, accounts is a formal way. Before you understand a formal way, you should understand what is informal accounts. So bookkeeping is an informal accounting. Okay. So what do you mean by bookkeeping means how you'll explain? Bookkeeping is nothing but a book where you keep each page one date, and what you'll record in that book, all the transactions which has happened on that particular date systematically within a time, classifying, so that what you'll understand if you maintain this book, you'll come to know about the financial information of the complete your stationery shop. Now, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what do you mean by bookkeeping? Bookkeeping means maintaining a book where you record all the transactions which has happened. I'm giving you example of stationery shop means you just imagine. Suppose so that, tomorrow in the exam, if you just take it down, so you'll understand, okay, this is what it is done, right? So they'll record
Yes.
all the things which are of financial transactions. If money is involved, you have to compulsory record in the book. If money is not involved, then you should not record anything in the book. And what is the advantage of maintaining a book? So that it is very easy for you to to assess the
Remember all
financial
the
situation of
transactions.
the company. Okay. Now this is the second slide. Now this is a sample. What is a bookkeeping? Okay.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
is how they used to maintain the book. So this is a book, and each page is one date where you'll maintain all the transactions here. What is the amount returned? So in older days, they used to prepare like this. Now this part, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Bookkeeping, can you write in your own words now?
Yes, ma'am. You can
Okay.
write them.
Your voice is not clear, ma.
I can write them my own words, ma'am.
But is my voice is clear?
Yes, ma'am. Your voice is clear.
Okay. Now, we'll see this part, financial accounting evaluation. Now, this is the untraditional way of maintaining an account, which is not actually not suitable to any law. So usually from bookkeeping, they'll start with accounting. Next step is accounting. So before we go into accounting, first we'll know what is the history of accounting. So first one, bookkeeping means what? Like everybody will what they think is okay, accountancy means some latest concept, latest developed, but no, but accountancy has 1,000 years of old history. Okay. And where did it has started? In Mesopotamia. This is where actually the first accountancy was started, right? And how did we discover that it has been started in Mesopotamia? Because for counting money, okay, and for counting sheeps, for counting crops, actually they discovered one method, and it was very famous in Mesopotamia. And later on after this, you heard the term audit?
Ma'am?
Audit?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is an audit? Once you close the books of accounts, they'll send the accounts to auditing. Okay. So what we think is it is a latest term. No, but 1,000 years back only we got the term called as auditing. And where auditing was discovered? It was discovered in Egypt and Babylonia. Okay. And fully developed means combination of these, all these two things was developed during Roman period. This complete financial information was developed in Roman period. Okay. Now we said that counting money in Mesopotamia, counting crops, counting sheep and all. So how they used to do?
Please, ma'am.
Okay.
My
So,
tablet.
see this, they used to take one huge rock. They used to put some dots to count how many sheep went into the into the forest, and when they are coming, they used to count. Okay, so many sheep came. So these small dots are those only. Okay, and next one is see later on see how they are putting a mark on the stone. So this is the way of counting actually. And later on, after this putting dots on the stone, later on what has happened is they used to gather some small stones like this. Okay, total 50 sheep went. So 50 stones aside. Again 50 stones, 50 sheep came back. So all sheep came back. Like this they used to do it. Okay. So first 1,000 years old history it has, and it was developed in Mesopotamia. And next auditing system was developed in Egypt. And in during Roman period, complete financial system was developed. This is about the history of financial evolution. Now coming back to India, even we have, okay. So coming back to India, how did we develop? That was in Rome. Okay. Now in India, when did it start? So in India, we started in Mauryan Empire. Okay. So in Mauryan period, Chanakya was the person. He used to work as a minister. He wrote a book called as Shastra. Okay. So what is the meaning of Shastra? It is a books of accounts. Now in India, he was the first person to bring accounts into our country. And this is how it used to resemble like. Okay. So this is how he used to write all the rules and regulations of Shastra. Okay. Now till here, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am. I got you.
Okay. Now, this was actually the evolution period. So we had somewhere in Mesopotamia, somewhere in Rome, somewhere in India, and we have roots in Italy also. Okay. Now, why we are discussing this slide is because Luca Pacioli. Now, he is the person. Okay. So, can you see this name? Luca Pacioli. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, why we are discussing about Italy is now we have discussed a point called as bookkeeping. Now, this bookkeeping concept actually was developed by this particular person, and he belongs to Italy. He is considered the father of accounting and bookkeeping. So initially, how to keep a book, how to write all the important points, everything was discovered by him. So he is considered as Luca Pacioli. Though India discovered Arthashastra, but it did not become famous. But in Italy, the concept what he developed as bookkeeping became famous, and he is considered as father of accounting. Okay, so he looks somewhat like this. Okay, so this is his face. This is the father of accounting. And this is the book what he has written. So the book what he has written will resemble somewhat like this. So till now, how many countries we have covered now? Till now, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you understood? Shall I go
Yes,
little?
ma'am. Ma'am,
So this is how actually the book what he has written was required. Now, coming to all different countries, you keep it aside. Now, the most important one is England one. Okay. So financial accountancy in England. You know why the concept was developed in England? In which century actually? In 19th century.
thank you. Thank you.
This is very important. Now, when all countries were developing, what has happened is England also started some research work. They also started developing. Now, what has happened in 19th century and why England has focused on accounting is by 19th century, it has occupied almost all over the world. Okay. It has conquered all the countries of the world maximum. And what they used to do as a Britishers, what they used to do, they used to bring all the gold coins, all the wealth from different countries, and they used to store in England. Now, the problem has come is in 19th century is when they have occupied all the countries in the world, and when they were taking all the wealth, the gems, jewelries, gold coins, crops, everything from other countries and putting a storage in England, somebody should be there to count, right? And somebody should maintain an accounts there. Now, there actually they started a difficult one now. Now, who will take the lead? who will take the counting of all these coins, gold, jewelry, and maintain a proper accounts. So in 19th century, where they occupied maximum world and started looting all the countries, then they got importance of accounting. Okay. And what they have done is they have started one organization. What is that organization name? Institute of
Chartered account.
Chartered Accountant. Okay, in short form, we call it as ICA, and where it was
Yeah.
discovered in Wales in the year 1980.
1980.
Have you heard about a chartered accountant?
No,
Have you heard that
no,
profession? Chartered
no,
accountant,
no.
CA.
Okay.
Okay, after degree, they'll go for CA. CA means what? Chartered accountant. What do you mean by a chartered accountant? It is the highest position in accountancy. Okay. And once all the companies file up all the organizations, whatever it may be, small, medium, large, everything, once they close the accounts, they have to submit all the accounts to chartered accountant. And what does a chartered accountant do? He will verify all the accounts of the company, finally put his signature and stamp. So once his signature and stamp is there on the accounts, then those accounts are called as audited accounts. Okay. And on audited accounts only, they have to pay the tax to the government. If your accounts are not audited, if they are not verified by a chartered accountant, if he doesn't put a sign or stamp on that, then those accounts are not a valid accounts. Okay. So that is the highest degree. Like in government, what is the highest position is IAS or IPS? Okay. They are considered as highest category of government. Same way in accounts also, accounts is there, accounts manager is there, accounts executive is there. Okay, all different types of accounts are there. But out of in the accounts world, chartered accountant is considered to be the highest position. Okay. And they were actually the person to discover the chartered accountant. And where did they discover it? In Wales in the year 1980. And what does the
Okay.
chartered accountant will do? He'll maintain all the accounts and verify it and give a authentication that it is correct. So if chartered accountant is doing all the verification, then that process is called as auditing. Okay. If chartered accountant is doing verification of all the accounts, then it is called as auditing. Once he put a signature stamp, then those are called as audited accounts. Okay. So what is the organization they have started? Institute of Chartered Accountants. This is the organization what they have started in the year 1980. Okay. And this same organization, okay, how it looks. Now, this is the logo of the organization. Now, this is how it looks. Now, this is the logo. Okay. And in the previous slide, like what we have seen, that audit was discovered and chartered accountant is only the person who is going to audit the accounts. Okay. And have you heard in your college about debit and credit?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So later on in the class, I'll explain you what is debit and credit. But for this class, you understand that earlier, before it was not the debit and credit concept, but debit and credit concept was discovered in, actually, they both are Latin words. Okay. And these debit and credit words, they were discovered in 13th century. And what does debit means? He owes. And credit means he trusts. Okay. So debit and credit words were discovered in 13th century. And these are okay. And 19th century, this one has happened. And now coming to this slide, now Britishers have started an organization called as, what is the organization name? Institute of Chartered
Chartered
Accountant. Okay. Now this institution, whatever the ICA is there, what they'll do is, now what they do is, they'll frame certain rules and regulations. Okay. Now these rules and regulations are applicable all over India, right? So all over India means, what does it mean is, now whatever rules and regulations they are preparing, not only 19th century, even today also, these rules and regulations should be followed by an accountant all over the world. Okay. Now, for example, if I ask you water composition, what is a water composition? How will formula of water? H2O. Okay. Now, India, if I ask what is the composition of water, you will tell H2O. Now, the same thing if I ask you, uh, if I ask some student from Australia, what is the water composition? What he'll tell? He'll tell H2O. Yes.
Yes.
And suppose if the same question, if I ask somebody from America, what is the water composition? Then he'll tell H2O. So from this, what do you understand? Water, either it is in India, America, or Australia, whatever the country may be, but the formula is H2O. Okay, H means hydrogen, O means oxygen. So all over the world, unanimously, they are accepting that water composition is H2O only. It will not change with the country. Now, if I ask the same question 100 years back, would the answer would be changed? The answer is same only, no? H2O. If I'm asking today, you are saying it as H2O. Okay. After 20 years, if I ask any student also, he will tell what is water composition means H2 only. Right? So what does it mean? If you are changing the place, if you are changing the country, if you are going past, previous, present, whatever it may be, the water composition is H2 only. It will not change with the time. It will not change with the place. Right?
Right.
Now the same thing, now whatever this Institute of Chartered Accountant frame rules and regulations, all those rules and regulations are same. Whatever country may be, they have to follow the same rules and regulations. Okay. So whatever country may be, so whether it is America, England, India, Pakistan, or whatever, China, whatever it is, suppose if you are an accountant, whatever rules and regulations they are framing, you should follow it. One thing. And next one, suppose if you are 10 years back, if you are an accountant, you should follow same debit credit rules. If you are now an accountant, you should follow same debit credit and rules. After 10 years, your children will come. If they have to prepare accounts, they have to follow the same rules and regulations. Did you understand the point? So, rules and regulations, what they have framed is suitable to all countries, all organizations, to all places, irrespective of the time, right? Now, these rules and regulations are just like a science. Wherever it is, the same thing is applicable. Okay. And whatever this ICA is there, they'll conduct two exams. First one is associate chartered accountant, and next one is fellow chartered accountant. They'll conduct an examination. Okay. And Okay. Now, to this thing, they'll conduct exams. Suppose if you clear preliminaries, then you'll call as fellow chartered accountant. If you clears main exam, then you are called as associated chartered accountant. Means suppose initially if you clear the exam, you're called as fellow chartered accountant. After 10-15 years, once you got the experience, you will be called as associated chartered accountant. Okay, and coming back to India, in India, we framed a board that is called as ICAI. Okay, it was formed in 21st April 1977. Now, what we do is this board, what they will do in India is, now whatever this body is there, okay, this one, Institute of Chartered Accountant of England. Now, whatever these rules and regulations they are framing, those rules and regulations will be followed by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Now, this is the highest governing body in India. Now, whatever the Britishers will frame rules and regulations, those rules and regulations will be followed and implemented in India. So that responsibility they are going to take. And apart from this, if any changes to be done in accountancy subject also, they will take the responsibility of changing the accounts. Otherwise, no authority or no person has a right to change any syllabus or any information in accounts until and unless they get permission from this ICAI. Okay. Uh, till here, have you understood, Zishan?
Yes, ma'am, I understand, ma'am.
Okay. Now, here we'll close the class and tomorrow I'll start with accounting. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, two concepts. What did you understand now? For today's class, we have seen what is bookkeeping, first one, and second one is what is the evolution. Okay.
Yes,
Tomorrow we'll jump directly into your syllabus, that is what is an accounting. Okay,
ma'am.
right?
Right, ma'am.
Okay.